Alrighty, so you need to have a new packet. You should have your calculator, and you're going to complete the vocabulary warm-up number 1 in your packet. So, vocabulary warm-up number 1, to find similar side lengths, you must set up a proportion. Anytime something is similar, you'll be setting up a proportion. When dilating a shape, angles are congruent, side lengths are proportional. Your angles will never change. If it starts as a right angle, it ends as a right angle. In slope-intercept form, M is the slope, B is the y-intercept. Dilate means to multiply. Remember, whenever you see the word dilate in a word problem, all I'm asking you to do is multiply. When a shape is dilated, area is multiplied by the scale factor squared. Area has squared units, so I'm going to multiply by the scale factor squared. Circle all the classifications for the square root of 196. Remember, you always want to simplify if you can first. So if I simplify the square root of 196 by typing it in the calculator, I would get 14. Well, 14 is a natural number. It's a whole number, integer, rational, and if real was listed, real would be included as well. The y-intercept is always when x is equal to 0. The solution to a system of equations is where two lines intersect. In a function, x cannot repeat. The whole numbers are all of the natural numbers plus 0. All square roots that do not result in whole numbers are irrational. So if you type a square root in the calculator and you get a decimal, it is an irrational number. Profit at the break-even point is $0. Remember, the break-even point is where cost and income meet. Well, if your cost is $20 and your income is $20, you are not actually making any money because you have to pay off your expenses. So at the break-even point, the profit is 0. All right, so go ahead and turn to the beginning of notes for this packet. We are going to be talking about volume for this. You did volume last year with rectangular prisms, triangular prisms, and pyramids. This year, we are going to start introducing cylinders, cones, and spheres, and then we will come back and do surface area later. So this is our last topic. This will be your last actual test. We will end the year with projects. So volume, when we talk about volume, is the amount of space inside a 3D figure. So if we talk about volume, I'm thinking about the air that fills the room. It's something that's taking up all the space, or the water inside a pool. So some words that tell us that we're talking about volume: cubic, hold, capacity, water. Like I said, water in a pool is volume. Inside or fill. So formula for prisms and cylinders, you learned this last year, the formula for prisms is V is equal to big BH. Well, why is the B capitalized? The B is capitalized because it stands for the area of the base. So depending on what shape it is, if it's a rectangular prism, remember your bases are rectangles. If it's a triangular prism, your base would be a triangle, so that big B would be the area of the triangle. Remember, the name of the shape indicates the base. So like I said, rectangular prism, that's a rectangle. Triangular prism, the base is a triangle. For cylinders, our base is going to be a circle. So when we think cylinders, in just a second, because big B stands for the area of the base, well, that's going to be the area of a circle. And the area of a circle is pi r squared. And then h is the height of the shape. Now, the height does not necessarily have to be vertical. For example, if our shape is lying on its side, it can still be the height because it's the length of the whole shape. It just may not look in the picture that it is up and down like height would be. So we have a rectangular prism. Our base is down here. B equals big BH. The base shape is a rectangle, like I said. The name of the shape indicates what the base is. Well, big B stands for the area of the base. Since our base is a rectangle, the formula is little b times h, or length times width, because that's what we're going to talk about for the area of the rectangle. Well, for rectangular prisms, I'm just going to use this shaded base on the bottom. And so we have our base, which is our length, our width, and then the height. Rectangular prisms are pretty straightforward. You could honestly just follow along with length times width times height. It's when we start adding different shapes to the bottom that can be a little bit more challenging. Now, one thing I do want to point out is base does not mean bottom. I can have a triangular prism lying on its side. I can have a cylinder lying on its side. It is still a cylinder. The base is a circle, still a triangular prism. The base is a triangle. It doesn't necessarily have to be the bottom shape. Triangular prism, like I said before, the name indicates what kind of shape it is. This is a triangular prism, and that tells me that my base is a triangle. So still the main formula for volume is V is equal to big BH. Big B stands for the area of the base. We just said the base is a triangle. Well, the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 little b times the height. So I shaded in my triangle here. This is our base shape. As I was talking about, base doesn't necessarily mean bottom. This triangle is not on the bottom of the shape, but it is called a triangular prism. So that because with this name being triangular, that indicates our triangle is the base. So 1/2 little b times height. Well, the little base is down here with our 8 feet because that's the base of the triangle. Then the height of the triangle is 7 feet. And then the height of the whole shape is 10 feet. So if I tilted this upwards to where the triangle was on the bottom, this 10 feet would actually be the height of the shape. Now I just go ahead and type all of this in the calculator, multiply it out. 1/2 times 8 is 4. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 times 10 is 280 feet cubed. The unit for volume is cubic feet, cubic inches. We are talking about cube because we are three-dimensional now. So, what is the difference between rectangular prisms, triangular prisms, and cylinders? Really, there's no difference. It's just a cylinder, the base shape is a circle. So we're still going to use that formula of V equals big BH, except in this case, our base shape is a circle. So I'm going to replace that big B, which again stands for the area of the base, with the formula for the area of a circle. I do not expect you to know all of these formulas by heart. They are on your star chart, which is at the beginning of your packet. You will get a star chart on the star test, obviously. You'll get the star chart for this test. You don't have to have them all memorized. You just have to be able to identify the shapes and know which formula to use once they're identified. So the base shape for a circle is, when we're talking about the area of a circle, it's pi r squared. So I replaced big B with pi r squared. Here I was given the radius, okay, and I have the height of the cylinder. So I have enough information to go ahead and plug in right away. We're going to use 3.14 for pi. I plugged in my radius of 10 squared and then my height of 9. 10 squared is 100. 3.14 times 100 is 314. 314 times 9 is 2,826. And the unit for this was miles cubed. That's a very, very large cylinder. Okay, this time we have a cylinder. It's kind of lying on its side, but it is still a cylinder. The base is still a circle. We're still going to use the formula V is equal to big BH. Like I said before, the base is a circle, so we're going to replace big B with the formula for the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. Now, this time I was given the diameter. Remember, the diameter runs the entire length of the circle. So I have a diameter of 8, but our formula for the area of a circle does not relate to the diameter. It relates to the radius. Well, the diameter is double the radius, so I'm just going to cut that in half by dividing it by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and that is the radius. I had 5, which would have been the height of the cylinder if I turned it around. So we have pi times 4 squared times 5. Well, pi is 3.14. 4 squared is 16. 3.14 times 16 is 50.24. Times 5 is 251.2 centimeters cubed. Now, this is all I need to see written out. At this point, you could plug it in the calculator. You don't have to show me all the extra work. I just need to see you plug into the original formula. And your homework for tonight is 5-7.